Good morning, guys. What is up and why? I'm at Aberdeen Airport, Dice Airport if you like, this morning, and I am taking a British Airways flight down to London Heathrow. It's my first time at this airport, so why don't you come with me and we'll go and see what it's like. I'll catch you on the flight. Aberdeen Airport's normally easy to get to by rail, but unfortunately the local train operating company were on strike on the day of my departure, so I had to get the bus. That's not a problem though, they run about every 20 minutes from the city. And now the terminal has a fairly unobtrusive entrance in my opinion, but as per usual at the moment, there was hardly anybody about when I walked in. Getting through security was painless enough, though my tray was once again selected for additional checks. And apparently it's random, but it seems to happen to me more often than not at the moment, and maybe it's time I changed my brand of toothpaste or something. Anyway, after going through the usual duty-free shopping experience, which is really about the same as everywhere else these days, and past plenty of closed outlets, I arrived to the departures area, which I think possibly looked busier than it actually was, and I reckon this is partly due to the relatively small space around the main gates. However, it was good to see that, as well as the usual domestic flights, mainly by Logan Air, Eastern Airways, EasyJet and British Airways, there were some holiday flights going out, despite the myriad of testing that the people had to undertake before and after. Now I like to explore the airside areas as much as possible prior to boarding, and so I wandered off towards gates 6 to 12, and I found this a great area to escape from everyone. The TV was on and there was absolutely nobody about, but I was more interested in what was going on outside, and this was a great area to observe some of the aircraft close up, but also watch the comings and goings of the many helicopters on view. Now, did you know that Aberdeen is the world's busiest heliport? And this is largely due to its proximity to the North Sea oil and gas fields, and so many of the movements are to and from the many rigs located out to sea. Helicopter passenger numbers are about 500,000 a year at the moment. Basking in the sun this lunchtime was our aircraft today, a 19-year-old Airbus A320-200 GEUUD. That boarding was approximately 20 minutes late because the aircraft was being sanitised. That's a good sign really, isn't it? There was no priority boarding today, which has been the case on all BA flights I've taken since the start of these crazy days. Oh, and notice how long it's taken to get people onto the aircraft. This is partly due, I think, to there just being the one set of steps at the front, whereas a further set at the rear would have helped on this occasion.
Good morning.
A single Dettol wipe in a clear plastic bag was handed out on boarding, and I'm sure there used to be more in this bag, but it's something rather than nothing, I guess. I made my way to my seat in the exit row today, which was 12F.
training and camping. We'd like to take this opportunity to personally welcome you on board, and to welcome back our executive club members, and of course our wonderful community bike. We do recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened wherever you are seated.
And as per usual, it was Tyrrell's plain crisps, just for a change, and a small bottle of Harrogate's still water. I used the wipe handed out on boarding to clean my hands after eating the crisps. And it may be useful to note that there's no armrest on the window seats in row 12. I'm not sure about the row in front either, but it makes no difference to me personally, as I much prefer the extra legroom. Now, something I didn't know before this flight was that the USB and power sockets are only available and switched on once the seatbelt sign is off. There is Wi-Fi on board, but personally I don't think it's worth it for such a short flight. All I'm interested in really is the flight stats, and you can still get these via the shop.ba.com connection. If you scroll past all the payment requests, and there you go, it's all there. There are two toilets at the rear of this aircraft, and I did have time on this flight to do a quick loo review. Anyway, the right hand side one was available, which is small, but it was clean and everything worked. But it took me ages to find the paper tissue disposable for some reason. I did like the toiletries on offer, by the way. I had been looking forward to some nice clear skies today. It was a bit cloudy leaving Scotland really, but the further south we went, the better it became. And by the time we'd started our descent, the clouds had all but disappeared. And I was on the right side of the aircraft today to enjoy some great views over the capital, the River Thames, Buckingham Palace, Wembley. A lot of the landmarks were clearly visible, although my window did mist up quite a bit at this point. And does anybody know why this happens? And other windows seem fine, so I don't know, maybe it was just a bit of bad luck.
Crew, take your seat for landing.
Anyway, we managed to make up time and we're only 2 minutes late, touching down on runway 27L today. Overall, this was just another normal domestic flight with BA doing what they do efficiently and to a consistent standard. I mean, these days it really feels like a privilege to be up in the air at all. But I really miss long-haul flying and I can't wait to get back up there in a bigger aircraft and experiencing different cultures in faraway lands. In the meantime though, I've got a few more trips booked and I'm going to share them with you guys, and if you like this content I would really appreciate it if you could consider a subscribe. It really helps me out, and until the next time guys, cheers for now.
Cabin crew to manual and cross check please.